Most dudes right now, they not lost. They wander, broke, faithless, no vision, just spinning in circles, just like Israel in the wilderness. This one called Don't Fold Like a Grasshopper because too many of us got faith that folds under fear. See, God gave Israel the promise, but he still made them fight for it, bruh. And that's where most people tap out. They want Jericho to fall, but they won't even spin around the block, bruh. Dang, bruh, that was deep, bruh. But welcome back to Billionaire Discipleship. We're building wealth, street wisdom, and serving Christ collides, but it doesn't divide. Man, I got a banger for you guys today. We're gonna go ahead and dive right into it, bro. So in today's episode, we're gonna pretty much go into Joshua's story and how he came into leadership and like the steps behind his leadership. You get what I'm saying? So it's like he had a perspective from Moses' success and failures. And I love this quote from Andy Stanley. Um, what is it? The Next Generation Leader. That's the book from Andy Stanley. Definitely top read, fire book. But this is the quote right here. Moses had trained Joshua in the fine art of wandering. For 40 years, the nation had wandered in the wilderness. Every lesson Moses had taught or modeled for Joshua was related to successful wandering. So it's like, if you really put it in Cuz perspective, it's like, yeah, he basically watched his boss take an L for the last 40 years, bro. 40 years, bro. He seen his boss take an L, bro. And it's like, that's, I'm gonna put it in a street perspective. That's like seeing your people's broke for 30, 40 years while you growing up, and then you learn business, and then you be like, bro, why didn't they apply that when, yeah, all they had to do was be faithful and apply those principles, and they would have had all, bro. Don't get me wrong, they would have had to fight for it, but you get what I'm saying. So it's like when you put it in that type of perspective, it's like, yeah, cuz cuz had an A+ of learning L's, bro. Like, and then it's like, yeah, he was so young, and then took over the leadership right after Moses had passed. It's like he was bringing them into the success. Like he 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 basically was the underdog leader, bro. If you really want to be for real, because it's like, keep it a buck with you. Probably everybody was like, bro, Moses gone, bro. Like, keep it like, let's break it down to societal differences and stuff like that. The people in the community was like, bro, Moses is gone, bro. Aaron is gone, bro. Why should we listen to young dude, bro? Like, he was just his assistant, bro. Like, but and then Joshua had to show them his leadership, and y'all gotta go check it out. That's why I love Joshua's story, bro. And it's like, yeah, and and if you think of it like this, if you hanging around somebody who's been in the game long enough, you don't just see their wins, you see their L's too, and but you learn what not to repeat. So that's what I'm saying. Like, he spent that 40 years. He was probably taking notes, bro. Like, when Moses hit the rock, bro. And then God spoke to Moses after that, bro. You think Joshua didn't hear that, bro? Like, or understand what everything that was going on now, bro? Because it was like, you shouldn't have hit that rock, bro. Moses probably was like, bro, I know, bro, but they blow me, yeah. Like, they would get on my nerves, bro. So it's like, when you he definitely seen Moses tops and bottoms. Like, he didn't just see all of the L's, bro. He also see Moses does, bro. Like, he seen Moses bring the people out of Egypt. He seen the sea being parted. Like you get what I'm saying? Like, those Moses was in his prime, B. Like, I ain't even gonna sit here in front with you, bro. Moses was in his prime, bro. And then it's like, bro, he started getting older, bro. And he's like, yeah, I'm tired. He. I personally feel like Moses should have delegated more tasks to more people instead of being more hands on. And I could that's just from my leadership lens, my personal development. I feel like if he would have delegated the tasks better, he wouldn't even have to worry about all of this chit chat, bro. Like he could have had people in charge, people making sure people in line, bro, stuff like that. And it really hit though, bro, because it's like 40 years, 40 years, and the trip was only supposed to take. I forgot how many days it was. It was less than a month, bro. I want to say it was like only like 9 or 10 days it was supposed to take, bro, or 15 days, something like that, bro. I know for a fact it was less than a month, and it took them 40 years, bro. That's a lot of yeah. That was a lot of trap. I know they circled the block, bro. Like you gotta think about it, bro. They probably was wandering. It was like, yeah, did we just see that whatever they was in, they probably was in the desert. I think they were in the desert. I want to say that's what where they were. But they was like, bro, didn't we see this and that back then and there, like few years back, bro? Why we going in like I'm just saying, bro. And the whole craziest part about that is like they had the opportunity to be in the promised land, but they ain't fight for it, bro. They ain't want it, bro. They ain't want it, bro. They did not want it, bro. And that's crazy because it's like that's like you sitting on the sideline waiting for your play to pop off, waiting for your long turn to pop off, like learning discipline while you broke. That's patience, bro. Like learning how to make a flip when you ain't got money to flip. That's patience and discipline, bro. Because it's like you training your mind, you training the way you think to make that bag whenever you do get that bread. So not only is that discipline and patience, but it's also faith. That's number one. Because it's like God, I believe in you so much. I'm gonna learn how to do this so my mind can create the money, and then I'm gonna trust you with the resources that you're gonna bless me with. So it's like when you go back and forth like that, it's like, yeah, God, you really gonna bless me, bro. So it's like, yeah, let's go ahead, bro. Like, let's go ahead and learn this stuff. Let's go ahead and read the books. Let's go ahead and learn how the Fed talk, learn how the money move, learn what rotation to go into, learn this and that. So it's like when you put it all in that type of perspective, that joint hit hard, bro. That that joint hit hard. Like that's tuition before the profit. Like that's where you that's where you really lock in lock in those games. Like in those early years, learning the fundamentals, learning how to do this and that. 'Cause don't get me wrong, bro. You can learn how to trade, bro. But just because you learn how to trade, don't mean you know what to do when it ain't nothing to trade, or when you have to sit on your hands. That's a trader's worst thing, sitting on their hands, bro. And I had to learn that the hard way, bro. Like I had to lose thousands of dollars, bro. Like blew up so many. Dog, I ain't even gonna sit here and tuck your head off about that, bro. But it's like that's where numbers uh 13 come into. Like the spies looked at the promised land and said, we look like grasshoppers next to them. Fear made them forget who God was. So when you think of it, they had to they seen the promised land. They seen let's keep it in the street perspective. They seen the ticket, bro. They seen the mail, bro. But they was like, yeah. I gotta sell how much to make that much, or I gotta wait 5, 10 years to create a business and let it pop off and grow within that 5, 10 years. But that's that grasshopper moment. That's when that fear start creeping in. That's when the enemy really start to whisper like, bro, you can't do this, bro. You ain't, bro. Come on, bro. Like, keep it a buck with you, bro. Like when I first started my reading journey and like my business journey, I'm like, yeah, I really want to touch $100 billion, bro. And it ain't even about the bread, bro. It's about like the resources, like I always talk about. But it's like, yeah, I trust God so much. I'm gonna go ahead and start reading these books, bro. Start learning the history. Bro. I learned hundreds of years of stock market history. I learned how to trade when like the psychology of trading and the psychology of risk and money and all, bro. I broke it down to the basics, bro. And it's not when the time come, I know I'm gonna be ready. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna still continue building until that time comes. Like you get what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like you can't view yourself as a grasshopper. And I, I in my story, I genuinely could have, cause it's like, bro, for one, I barely graduated high school, bro. I graduated like with a 1 point something, bro. I was like, I didn't go to school. I didn't go to school for one class that I needed to graduate from my senior year, and if I would have missed that class one more day, I would have got held back. And I know if I would have got held back my senior year, I wouldn't have went back, bro. Because the year after that, I started making some real cash. So it's like when I put in that type of perspective, and I got held back in second grade for not being able to read, bro. Like really I held back, bro. Like, and then I got diagnosed uh with ADHD. It's like, yeah, all of that stuff could have been my grasshopper moment, but I didn't let none of that fear be like, bro, I can't read, bro. Like fear don't just shrink. Ooh, fear don't just shrink your faith. It distorts your view of yourself and of your God. So it's like if you really believe God's gonna bless you with the resources, God's gonna bless you with the business, God's gonna bless you with the marriage, the relationship, like you gotta do things prior to that. So it's like the whole relationship thing. All right, bro. You gotta learn how to for one love yourself. You gotta learn how to do this. You gotta learn how to do that. You gotta. It's better to actually read love languages and better to understand. All right, this is how certain people are. Once I find that certain match, it don't matter who that match is. Once I find that match, I know how to be able to sync with them, and then let it be an even deeper bond. Boom. Same as business. All right, bro. I'm trying to start a business, bro. I'm trying to do this and that. All right, bro. Go pick up a book, bro. Go pick up Psychology of Money, bro, by Morgan. I forgot his last name, bro. But it Morgan something, bro. And go read that, bro. Go see how your mind thinks after that. So it's like, dog, that's where your faith really grows, bro. And like the more your faith grows, the less fear you gonna have. Like it's gonna continue to shrink. So so in Numbers 13, like I said, Joshua and Caleb's spies went to the jungle. They came out. Two out of the 12 was like, "Look, bro, we got this, bro." The other 10 was like, "Nah, B, we small compared to them, young like they giants, bro. Like what?" I ain't even gonna spend too much time into that, bro. But that's where like God gave them the victory, but He still made them fight. Like that two wanted to fight. Like they was ready to throw them Jones, bro. Like they was like, bro, yeah, you done got us out of. You done did what you did in Egypt. You done split the sea. You done made food. Come, talk to God, made food come down. Like, yeah, you telling me we can't go? What? Yeah, you telling me that, bro? Like, come on, bro. Like, when you think of it like that, bro, it's like that's why I said they still had to like you still have to fight. God ain't just gonna give it to you, bro. Like you still gotta grind, bro. Like you still gotta hustle, bro. Like keep it a buck with you. Sometimes it sucks, bro. Like sometimes you be like, bro, I can't get your break, bro. I'm trying to build this. I can't do this because every time it's this, it's like every promise requires a process and every calling demands a choice. So like you gotta have that choice. Like you gotta make the decisions. You gotta be intentional. You got like, bro. You think I don't want to slack off some? And don't get me wrong, bro. I do take breaks in my studying and my learning and all of this and that. And it's like, yeah, I get it, bro. Like, you don't gotta go hard all the time, but like, there is times you gotta be in the crunch, bro. Like, and you gotta actually be consistent with the stuff, bro. Like reading, bro. Like, bro, even if you have to start with reading 10 minutes a day, like that's still something, bro. Like 10 minutes a day better than what you was gonna do with that 10 minutes on social media, on doing this, doing that, like or listening to a book or podcast for 10, 15, do at least 15, 20 minutes. If you want to listen. You can listen and do something else. Like you know what I'm saying? Listen and drive, listen, do that. So that's that's that process. That's where God is really testing your faith. Like, all right, bro. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna put you through the ringer, bro. But if you continue to get through these trials, bro, and continue to cultivate your craft, bro. On the other side, on that promised land side, bro, milk and honey, dog, just flowing, bro. Like, and like that's that's why I said like God gives you that victory, but you still have to fight, bro. Like you can't go down without swinging, bro. Like you got to swing every trial, every test, every challenge, anything you're going through, bro. You got to swing, bro. Like that. That's the whole point, bro. Like, and I love this quote from PD right here, bro. Radical submission requires radical trust, and obedience is really about trust. So it's like that's where being obedient to his word, being obedient to your faith, but being that's that trust, like creating a schedule. Like when I first started reading and when I this is after I lost my job and everything, bro. I was like, all right, bro, I'm I work 4 days here. This is why I was at Amazon. I was like, I work 4 days here, possibly a fifth day. I was like, all right, the first day, and I still follow the schedule still to this day, bro. I was like, all right, bro, I really gotta make this bag, bro. I'm gonna see what this joint rocking with, man. So what was it? Sunday, I was like, I'm gonna listen to a sermon on Sunday. Monday, I'm gonna listen to my business book or business podcast or some business selling. I call it Selling Monday. Tuesday, leadership Tuesday. Wednesday, worship Wednesday is normally when I listen to my PD. I get a weekly dose of him. If it's not him, it's Myron. It's not Myron, it's somebody, bro. And that's 4 days right there. And the fifth day will be like an extra day. So it's like, I could either listen to like an interview, I could listen to a podcast, I can listen to a book. Now, what do I do? How do I do it? Sunday, listen to my sermon. Mondays, Mondays, still listen to my business books or podcast or whatever business related. Tuesday, still leadership. Wednesday, still spiritual. Thursday, Friday. Thursday, it'd be like I'll be kind of like alternating. So like I'll have like one Thursday a mental health day where I listen to like like Jesus and mental health, uh, the therapy and theology. That joint fire, bro. I listen to that joint. That joint fire, bro. That joint definitely dig deep, bro. And it's like, yeah, either that or I listen to a or extra book or whatever. And then Friday is like a cleanup day, so it's like whatever I didn't finish in that week, I'll go ahead and either re-listen to whatever I didn't finish. What majority of the time I'm finishing, so I listen to like a Charles Spurgeon sermon, and sometimes don't even take notes. Like I just listen to it on the way to work. But and then if I work an extra day, like how I do it is like I typically don't work on a certain day of the week, and then that day, if I do decide to work, I won't take notes or anything. I'll just listen. Like right now, I'm listening to Shoe Dog. That joke fire, bro. I'm about to I only got 2 or 3 more chapters in that joke, but that joke fire. I was like, yeah, listening to how Nike came up, bro, and how yeah, yeah. And the craziest thing is, my old boss recommended that joint. I don't really bang with him no more, bro. But my old boss, he recommended that jump right before he had dipped off. I'm like, all right, bro. I actually bought the book, bro. I was like, all right, bro. I'm gonna listen to this jump sometime, bro. Then when I finish that book, I'm gonna listen to. I bought this one book to break down. Pretty much. The book is called Thinking in Bed by Annie F. Downs, Annie A. Downs, something like that. But she's like the number two uh, female poker player in the world or in the U.S. And she ends up writing a book about like how you think when how to perceive risk and everything. So I really want to take notes on it. But the first time I was trying to take notes on it, I took like almost 20 notes just in that first day, and I was like, bro, she got two. I'd rather just listen to this song and then we listen to it and then we listen to it, bro, instead of taking all these notes. Because I'd rather just soak the information in than take all the notes. But that's what I'm talking about, like that obedience, that trust, that's building trust with God. God sees that, bro. Like you think you watering the seed, bro. You think he ain't gonna? You don't even gotta water the seed, bro. That's just you making sure the soil good. God can send the water to make it grow. So that means it's gonna grow whether or not you ready. But wouldn't you rather be ready on the back end? So it's like when you put it in that type of perspective, it's like, dog, that's when you really gotta ask yourself, like, maybe God's not ignoring you. He's instructing you. Maybe he's saying, circle that dream again, bro. Circle that calling again. Don't fold like grasshoppers. Fight like Joshua, bro. Like, don't be like the other 10, bro. Like, you clearly see. I just straight off the fly. You clearly, definitely, if you chasing wealth, bro, you clearly see the 2 out of the 10 wanting to fight and see the promised land, and then you see the other 10 out of 12. Like, yeah, that's majority. That's way past majority, bro. So you gotta think about it in like today's culture, bro. Like that top 10%, that top 20%, bro, making 80% of the revenue. Like you know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, dog. Like y'all was teaching business back then. Like, yeah. Like I said, that was just straight out the jump. And it's like going through hard times, like you really gotta trust God. Like I get it, bro. Losing jobs, money, like truth be told to you, even like some situations leak a little bit of your faith. Like you gotta bandage that joint up, bro. Like, yeah, bro. Like, and this is why I really love this quote from Craig Rochelle. And this is kind of like how I was telling you, like, you gotta make that decision, bro. And it's like every chance from God demands a choice from you. And like you gotta make that choice, like Craig Rochelle said. So it's like you gotta be intentional. You can't just be like, all right, bro, I want to do this business stuff and not pick up a book, bro. Like I get it, bro. You can't read, but it. You think you think I can say every single word in every book, bro? I read, but keep it a buck with you, bro. I read some of the boringest of books in my life, bro. Like some books, I'd be like, bro, I don't know how I got through that book, bro. I'm not gonna name the books, but the authors were good, but and the book was still good, but like that history, bro. I hated history, bro. And it's like, but like I had to learn history to see how I can really, alright, bro. Like this is how people typically play out, bro. Like, alright, bro. This is how people typically act when this happens or whatever, this and that. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I'm ready for whatever, but if something happened, bro, I know who to turn to, where to get the information, how much money to put into the market, when to not put money into the market, hold my hand a little bit, bro. Like, wait it out, do this, do that. Like, and all you gotta do is listen to the right people, bro, and just just keep applying, keep keep applying the word, and keep applying your faith towards the business. Keep applying your faith towards preparing yourself, preparing, like being ready for when that time comes. 'Cause that time gonna come. I can't. I think Myron. I want to say Myron said it, bro. He was like, bro, you might as well do it, bro. You gonna do the time anyways, bro. You might as well go ahead and do it. Like I want to say that's what he said, but it might have not been that exact word, bro. But it was something like that, bro. But you gotta give it like you gotta depend on God, like, and that's why I want people to like really soak up in this whole episode. Like you really gotta depend on God. Like you can't just build without depending on God, bro. Like there's gonna be times you gonna want to quit. Be like, I can't tell you how many times I wanted to quit, bro. And it's like you, and then you pray and be like, God, I don't know why you still want me to do this, bro. Like, look what I'm at, bro. Like, rent due. I lost my job. I ain't got no money in the bank. I'm living paycheck to paycheck on food stamps, on all of this, and I still ain't making it, bro. Like, and you think of it like that, bro, and it's like, dang. Now you and then you look like I love telling my wife this, bro. Like we always gonna look back and be like, man, them some hard times, bro. But look at us now, bro. Look at our faith now, like hitting milestones now, like doing this, doing that, and it's like, yeah, look who we got at five, bro. Like when my daughter was one, bro. Like I couldn't even afford $150 gift, bro. Like at one, bro. Like in 2 years, in 2021, yeah, 2021. So in 2 years, nah, not the full 2 years. It was only about a year. Like literally, like maybe a year and some change before that, bro. Maybe no more than 18 months before that, bro. I had 30 racks, bro. Like, and I now I can't even afford $150 birthday gift for my daughter, bro. Like, I had to ask my folks for that junk, bro. Like na- now look at us. Like, I'm not saying we balling, but we didn't have to struggle the way we used to struggle. And me and my wife always look back and like we our conversations are different now because now we talking about like man, we was talking back then, man, I can't wait to get out of that situation. But now we talking about man, I can't wait to help somebody in that situation. Like that's where it hit deep, bro. And that's where I'm about to close it out, bro, because it's like that's where trusting God really come in. Like looking back, be like, man, thank you, God. I'm thank you for my walk, even though it was rough sometimes. Thank you for my walk. Thank you, Lord. So it's like that's the reason why I say this. This isn't because Moses' leadership was all bad. He also had some good into it. So like Joshua didn't just see them L's, bro. He also seen all of his dubs too, bro. And it's like putting both sides, seeing he didn't just see the outside pressure, bro. He seen that internal conflict that Moses had to deal with, bro. So it's like that's where you gotta really ask yourself, where's your Jericho moment, bro? Where's your mindset, your addiction, your unbelief? Are you willing to circle it until God says go? Every, ooh, like Craig Rochelle say, every chance from God demands a choice from you. You can't fold on a person when faith requires persistence, and that's where it really hits you at. Because it's like in your life, this is the last question, and I'm gonna go ahead and close it out. In your life, in your grind, in your faith, are you leading like Joshua? Or are you folding like a grasshopper? You gotta just sit with that for a little bit. And yeah, like I said, don't fold like a grasshopper, bro. It ain't worth it, bro. You gotta fight the fight. It ain't worth it. But thank you for joining. Like and subscribe.